Hey guys, this is a general reading for Scorpio for October 2020. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. If you're significantly drawn to this video, if you have Scorpio somewhere in your chart or significantly in your chart, or if you're cross-watching, like for somebody else who's a Scorpio, please understand that energy is fluid. So this could have already happened. It could be happening now. It could happen in the future. I could read this as love. It could be career. I could read this for you. It could be somebody else significant to you. So just take what fits and leave the rest. Some, none, or all of it may apply. So don't make it fit if it doesn't. It's a general reading, so keep that in mind. Thank you for those of you who inquire about donations. If you're interested in that, for, thanks for the time that I put in, or if this video resonates with you or it helps you, the PayPal information for the donation is in the description box below. So thank you for those of you who participate with that. I greatly appreciate it. It means a lot. Service information, description box below. Please read all of it, including the disclaimer. If you pay for a service, please email me. Don't just PayPal, but email me as well. Also, I do shamanic services, so illuminations, soul retrievals, destiny retrievals, shadow contracts. If there's anything imbalanced in your energy that you need to add, remove, cords, attachments, underworld work. But anything with that, let me know. If you want to know more, email me. I'll be putting it in soon. But in the meantime, email me. I do private light language. So if you want a healing session with that, let me know. And then crystalline consciousness technique for like either a session or a chart. It's very high frequency, like 11th or 12th frequency. And it's really great for protecting from electromagnetic field, putting you in your crystalline body. And it helps accelerate like healing, transformation, manifestation, and it works on a way higher level and then trickles down into the 3D. It's really great for clearing energy in relationship, but also like say if you're trying to like manifest something or bring a certain part of you out, but there's something energetically holding you back or blocking it. It's great for either shifting that energy or revealing what that block is. So if you want to know more, email me about that in the meantime too, okay? Scorpio. Okay, so I'm a little tired, so I'm sorry. I'm trying to just push this out. I was gonna do Pisces, and then my guides were like, no, do Scorpio. So here we are. So on one hand, I'm gonna try to like chill as best I can through this. It probably won't be as passionate as usual. And on the other hand, hopefully it's just clear and concise and moves fast. In the center of your reading, I believe most of this honestly is career or money based, but apply it to your life as necessary. You have the King of Cups and you have the Page of Pentacles. So here you are. There's some new beginning and path, like money wise or entrepreneur wise or apprenticeship wise, that is possibly trying to come in for you. And you might have to do some training to go into it, or take some work, or an amount of starting over, or even if it's not completely starting over, it's like going to another level where your old level you were on top, but this level you'll be on the bottom but still higher. I don't know. It could be a complete like whole new way of doing and dealing with things though. But I'm not sure if you're really zoning in on it. Like what's crossing it is you have the Four of Cups. You just may not be paying attention to it, or really might not seem of interest, or like you'll like it, or that it may not be abundant. Why the Four of Cups? Queen of Cups. I mean, I guess some of you could be also where you're not focused as much on like your goals or in manifesting. You might be, how do I feel about this? Because some of you are either focused on things you shouldn't be focused on or aren't as beneficial to you. Instead of focusing on this, that would be more beneficial to you. And then some of you might be more like, for lack of better words, like in your feelings, and instead of more like taking action. So maybe this isn't like what you're doing. Like maybe you should do this. Maybe you should be ignoring like love or emotional stuff right now. So apply it, you know, to some of you may need to get more in your action side and stop focusing on things you don't need to focus on. And then some of you, like you're totally ignoring this out. And then some of you are like you're focusing too much on love and not on abundance is what I'm trying to say. Or you need to stop focusing on like love or even emotional stuff, like emotional or gaining attention through emotion, whatever it is, like emotional stuff, and like get to grinding, get to learning, get to this new opportunity that's trying to come in for you. I kind of get more that this is more something you're supposed to do. You could be doing it though, but I think there's almost like a distraction of love for you, or emotions, even if it's not love, like emotions or emotional balance or whatever. And that might be saying what these are in the center. Like you'll have better emotional balance if you focus more like on this new beginning, or like this new, whether it's entrepreneur, whether it's apprenticeship, whether it's learning, skills, trade, whatever it is, like focus on this and it will bring you more emotional balance. And you'll have to kind of like, you know, push emotional stuff away from it. Like something about you may be imbalanced, which makes sense as to actually what's in your crowning, or like you're confused or whatever. Like, you just, I don't think you're really seeing clearly right now. And you may not have the best of like emotional stability. Because you're kind of like focused on things that aren't to your benefit right now. You have on the bottom of your deck, you have the sun. So there is a lot here about like illumination, like seeing things, something that makes you feel better and more useful. You might have to sacrifice for a minute and be uncomfortable to see the shift in this perspective and see the fruition on it. But you will go on a new path, which ultimately will make you happier. In your foundation, you have the Ace of Pentacles. So this is the new beginning. It's the same one that the Page of Pentacles is holding. It's trying to bring you in this new tangible beginning. In the past, you have the Six of Swords. So, you know, somehow you're able to mentally like calm down or mentally move on to calmer waters. Maybe you even traveled a little bit. I don't normally get that a lot with it, but traveling's coming up. Tell me about the Six of Swords. Okay. So the Queen of Cups keeps coming up, and you're coming up as the King of Cups. So either you're emotionally unstable, or there is something between you and somebody else that is not stable, and it's impulsive and rash, maybe even fighting words, or kind of aggressive words, or not balanced energy, I guess. Very And I don't know, I guess at one point it calmed for you. However, now, you know, you're sitting here with your crowning as the Seven of Cups. So you're either really confused or you're really like looking at your options, like, what do I want and is this serving me? I don't know. Maybe you found a way to like calm things down with this person or situation around you. And, you know, you're like either getting bored or you're like, do I really want this now? Or what do I go after now? I don't know. I just get this vibe of like you not really being happy with where you're at or whatever, like whether it's a relationship, a job, or whatever. Like this really at the bottom of the deck is about the sun, like having the heart of a child, the innocence, like you're overjoyed with passion, but yet still the wisdom of like an elder and adult. But this to me screams a lot about like passion. Like I don't think there's a lot of like passion or excitement or enthusiasm, like not in a good way anyways, that it's affecting your perspective and the way you see things, to where I just don't think you're seeing properly for yourself, like what's best for you. In your likely future, you have the Ten of Wands. Like, I guess this is still going to be a burden. You're still going to be working, not seeing, just going along, putting a lot of time into this, but it's still going to bring you that kind of like Knight of Swords energy where it's just unsettled and ungrounded and not really happy, to be honest with you. Yeah, no. I gotta work and do stuff. How you see yourself. You have the Seven of Swords, the Three of Pentacles, and the Five of Swords. This isn't great energy. Like, I don't know if you're wanting to, like, you know you want to leave something. And honestly, I've been getting that for Scorpio for a long time. And I don't know if it's like you can't leave and you feel stuck there. Or if for some reason, like, you think you're stuck or you think you need it. Like, I don't know exactly. I think you see yourself wanting to like move away from it. Especially now that it's calmed. It's weird. I almost get this vibe like you're like, I don't know if I want to be in this because this is so hectic and chaotic. It's not good for me. Right? And then it calms down. Like you find a way to get it to calm down. And then you don't know if you want to be in it again because it's not making you happy and it's almost kind of boring. Like, and I understand that. I get it. But that's something within you. You need to work on that. There's something going on with your perspective on that. And that's part of what I think a lot of what's keeping you stuck is where you're just like, it's always something else or always the other person. Like, it's either chaotic and it's not good for you. You need to get away, but let's try to calm it. And then you calm it and then it's boring and you want something else and to get away. And honestly, that's probably the point if you were to look at your pattern when the chaos probably starts to happen again, is when you start to get like that, because then you get bored, but you necessarily don't possibly want to leave or don't necessarily want to leave, or you like feel like you need to stay there, or you feel like it's your only option or whatever it is, or you're stuck or whatever. And so you go into either these resentment or these chaos creating things or someone else does. Maybe someone else around you has this. And just to bring excitement into their life. It's like this pattern that you seem to be stuck in, or somebody's stuck in. I think you're looking at this point like you're going into the phase again, like, I don't want to be in this. What do I want? What's best for me? What should I do? What's around you is the Nine of Wands. So it could be a lot of like healing, or just a lot of stuff has gone down. And if you're the one also in the mentality of doing this, the person around you might be exhausted in healing too, because they have to go through those cycles with you. And that's probably exhausting. So they might, be healing now. And trying to persevere and keep themselves together. Or this is just the energy around you is now persevering and healing and whatever. But how they see you is the Eight of Swords. You're a very swordsy energy. Very much in your mind. They see you as, stuck, especially mentally stuck and not seen properly. What you want is the Queen of Wands. So either another person, or even more so, I think you want it to be like passionate and exciting and confident and feel good and fiery, and not in a lower vibration negativity kind of way. Tell me about the Queen of Wands. I think you either want something new that's going to be exciting and good for you, or even more so, you want this to stay but to transform and change, where you can keep it and work on it, but it changes and becomes more like Queen of Wands energy, where it's exciting, it's passionate, it's confident, it's charisma, it's sexy, especially the sexy, like it's sexy, like it's back again, you're in sync again, like everything's right again. You guys are wanting each other, you're being driven to each other, whether it's a person, situation, whatever. You want it to be good and in alignment and working for you and building you and helping you thrive and pushing you forward again, helping you grow. That's the big thing I get about this, is like, whatever this situation is, relationship situation or whatever, it's like this vibe. I think that's one of the reasons that you got bored, was because it's like you're not growing in it, like you or both of you. And that is one big thing I do find about Scorpio and even Virgo energy. A lot of energies have that, but especially like Virgo, Scorpio, Gemini is one of them. There's a couple others too that are even stronger on that. Like, it has to be growing and evolving all the time, or at least on a somewhat consistent basis, either you and or both of you, or like you can get bored easy. And then some of the negative attributes can come up, like you might be staying loyal to the situation or the job or the person, but it's bringing up those negative qualities in you, where that like kind of Mars and Pluto energy are coming in to bring like that action and aggressiveness and chaos and transform, and what can we turn this into and make it to where I feel like I'm not just stagnant, or it's not just staying the same, or it's not just blah, or it's not like to where it's exciting basically. And Scorpios do that on all types of levels, like, and there's all types, but that's why sometimes I've seen some Scorpios, like, I'm educating you, but where they'll like even be loyal to the partner, but they'll like flirt, or they'll talk to other people or bring that up just to know that it shifts the energy and brings the excitement back. Like, they kind of, through fear, or lower vibrations, if you will. It's like their way of revamping and revitalizing the energy, bringing it back, keeping the passion there. You know, if you bring them into lack mentality, like, oh God, they might go. So through like jealousy, you know, or control, but more so jealousy and insecurity and fear, it keeps that, you know, I hope that makes sense. But so I don't know. Apply that to however, like if this is a job or a situation and not a person. But and that might be why you also have like the Seven of Swords and the Five of Swords here. Like maybe even like with this energy where I have the Three of Pentacles in the middle, like maybe that's something you're doing right now where, because I get for the most, I think some of you are like, if this can't change, I do want it to be done. So that is in the back of your mind. Ideally, you would like this situation to stay though, but it's kind of like, okay, now it got to where it was like cool and calm for a minute, and now you're like, uh-oh, that part of you is like rising up again, and you might be cycling back to that pattern where you're kind of doing some of these other deeds, maybe even involving someone else in or some other thing, even if it's not a person. Like you could play, like go back to just playing your game or not giving them attention, or you have some other hobby or something that just makes the mind games. So maybe you see or know that you're doing that, or someone's doing that to you, where it's like you're in a phase to try to revamp, revive the situation. I don't know. It's very Scorpionic. You know what I mean? It's very like, that's what they kind of do. Like a lot of times, especially the lower vibe ones, they'll bring up those energies to almost kill another situation to revive it. Like the same situation, like basically transform it is what I'm trying to say. And I think what's around you, it's like the person's exhausted. Like you, I mean, I hate over giving advice to you guys because I know you guys hate it to some degree, but you really need to look at this within yourself, because especially if you want the person to stay with you, like it seems like they're exhausted, by the way. They're just trying to heal and you're just stuck. Like you don't see, and they feel like you don't see, and that you're just stuck in this whole other mentality. And you're just like, I just want this to be good. I just want this to be passion. I just want this to be this. You have this whole like vision of what you want it to be. It's, you know, not, instead of honestly just looking at the person for, or situation for who or what they are. And even more so, I don't know if you're really looking at yourself at this point. And you just want this person to be this, instead of looking at like, why is it not like that? Is it just that now you guys are at the comfortable part of the relationship? Is there something you can do to like revive this in a different, not so energy draining way, where it's like, yay, we got to this, right? So now you're like, yay, it's calmer now. I feel better. I got some of my energies out. The person's more focused on me. We're more in touch with each other, blah, blah, blah. And meanwhile, the person around you is like popping to this, where they're like needing to rest and heal their energies and try to persevere through this. And while they're resting and healing and they're like, thank God for this downtime, you're over here like, this is starting to get a little too calm. It's starting to get a little too boring. You know, honestly, another thing that you might want to think about or look into, besides just creating these energies within yourself, your own creative energies, besides needing a person to tap into that, is there may be a part of you, just saying, and some of you, this may not be everybody, but some part of you might feel, whether it's within you or like something with your parents growing up or past relationships or whatever, that as soon as it gets to like kind of a calm level, or maybe even more so when you see them starting to get like this, where they're just exhausted. They don't have as much energy, like more and more. They're less able to put in more and more every time this cycle goes round, and they're getting more and more exhausted. But whenever it gets like calm, or even they start to just not emotionally invest as much because they just don't have it, and it just shouldn't be that hard. But as soon as you start to see that, their reaction, but even more so, what I'm trying to say is you might have a thing where when a relationship starts to get calm or boring or not like intense, or they're not like hanging on you and giving you like every ounce of their attention, or just comfortable, if you will, you need to learn how to cultivate that within yourself. But more so, what I'm trying to say is you may have a subconscious thing going on inside of you that you feel like the relationship is going to end. Like it actually starts to hit your own shadows, your own fears. And you may have like a fear of abandonment or a fear of rejection. And instead of just being like vulnerable or seeing like where the person's at, or just talking to them and like trusting and growing yourself in the meantime so that they can grow with you, and if they don't grow, then even if it ends, like you're in a better place. But either way, like it's almost like this mind game / control tactic / semi not that good of insurance policy of like these mind games of keeping this person in this cycle. Because, and I don't even know if you know this or do this consciously, but and if this is not you, please apply it to the other person. All right, I'm just going to speak to you right now. I don't have the energy to flip flop back and forth, but like you may or may not know that you're doing this. I mean, this is how you see yourself, though. So for the most part, I think most of you do know that you do this. I don't know if you know why, but I think most of you know that you flip-flop like this, and you go back and forth, and you cycle like this. And it really comes from like an abandonment or a rejection wound. And that if you don't keep them in this mind screwery, whatever, that they'll leave, or that you'll become bored and have to leave. More so, I think that they'll leave. So just as a side note on that, and I say that with compassion, like I didn't have it strong where I've ever like messed with somebody's mind over it, but I know it was triggering me for a little while in my relationship where it was calm, and I was like, what am I doing? And I realized that it was triggering me because in the past, when things had gotten calm, or things had gotten not in that honeymoon phase or whatever, either games like this started to be played. I didn't realize it at the time though, or the relationship ended, or the person left or whatever, you know, because it wasn't like truly genuinely connecting on like a heart level or seeing each other for who they are level. It was a codependent relationship. It was built on need, and it was on what illusion you wanted each other to be, and not like the true genuine people that you were with. But anyways, your fear is you have the King of Swords. I think part of you really sees this. I think you know this, at least on some level. I think you're tired of being in your head. I think you're tired of cycling. I think you're tired of being all logic, and it's exhausting. You're exhausted. And I think you just want to have fun and feel good and have kind of like that, for lack of better words, ignorance is bliss feeling that you had when you were a kid, you know, where just life wasn't that hard. Like it shouldn't be that hard. It shouldn't require that much work. And part of you, let's be honest, likes this. And that's the part of you're going to have to look at as to why, if you want to break this cycle. The other part of you is exhausted and does not want to have this, and wants to heal, wants to feel better, and wants to be excited and feel good again. And this is where I keep getting this limbo. There's this huge limbo feeling here in this reading where it's like, do I stay playing this game? Do I go start with something new? It's probably going to end up this way anyways, but at least it'll give me some time and I'll feel better. Can this revamp and revive? Probably not. Can I keep this going? Should I start something new? That's going to be a lot of work too, but it'll at least be more fun in the beginning. I'll end up this way too, but I'll have some time. What if it's not as secure? What if it is? It's just like a lot of thinking. And this may not be your exact thoughts, but it's exactly like that. It's like just thinking and thinking and thinking. And I fully like understand this. Like my mind goes all the time. And I think you're just at a point where you want it to be fun and passionate and it just flows. You know what I mean? Like how in Friends, like you're a lobster, whether it's a situation or a person. Like, it should just flow. You shouldn't always have to fight. You shouldn't always have to think. You shouldn't always have to strategize. You shouldn't always have to know. You shouldn't always have to be in your logic. Like, you want to be able to tap into your emotions and your passions and your fieriness. But let's remember, your likely future is 10 of Wands. So you stay in this thing. You stay worked. You stay burdened. You keep trudging along, and your likely outcome is 9 of Swords and King of Wands. You stay trapped. You stay flighty. You keep rounding. Hot, cold, anxiety. You know, this whole cycle. It's too much. I don't want to be in it. Wait, I don't want to leave it. Let's fix it. Okay, good. We're good. Oh, it's starting to get boring. Something's wrong. Is it boring? Or is it just worrying you that something's going to end? Does it have you gotten like addicted to the chaos to feel alive, or to feel everything's okay, or to feel like they're there, or to feel that they care? Like, is that your love language now, that somebody has to be anxious or worried or overly like into you, or like insecure or whatever, to feel that they care or that they love you or that they're still invested? Like, is that what you learned over time, or is that what you learned as a kid? Or, you know, what is that? Like, and I'm not saying this in judgment. I'm saying this is the questions you need to be asking yourself and looking at this, because I don't know if that's because it's under your mind game or control or illusion or whatever, but they're exhausted. I mean, at some point they're going to leave anyways, or they're going to be no earthly good to you, and then you'll have to leave. So hopefully this it has a little bit where it could potentially be a narcissistic vibe as well. Maybe even bipolar or borderline. But either way, why I thought this was about career. I don't know. Apply this to your life as necessary. But the pattern more than likely continues if you don't change something and stop dealing with emotions for a little while with other people, and in the meantime work on your own emotions and learning them and understanding them and why they're that way. If you need help on this, let me know, or go see a counselor or just talk to somebody, whatever. So in the meantime, work on your own emotions. Don't work on emotions or stuff with anybody else. And you can keep this person around you and still do that. It doesn't mean you have to like, oh, nobody's there. Like, no, you can just let it chill. Let it be what it is. If it falls apart, it falls apart. More than likely, it'll just stay. The person will probably like be able to revamp their energy back up. You're going to have to face your own shadows, you know, because they're going to come up, but that's where you work and look at yourself. And then at the same time, to balance that, go into this other like, whatever this other beginning is, whether you start learning new hobbies or apprenticeship or other skills or learning or growing or making money or whatever it is, because not only will that give you time to be clear-headed more about this realm, but it'll also help you with confidence. So there may be some like underlying like confidence or self-esteem issues going on here too, of feeling that you're either not enough, not good enough, or that just you being you is not enough to want this person to stay. That it either needs to be super passionate and hot and heavy and super intense, or it needs to be like super chaotic and just and intermingled in a way where the energy is just going and interacting. I hope you get what I'm saying. I don't have a lot of energy to explain a lot of this, but this really stems from kind of trauma, misperceptions, wounds, patterns over time, learned behavior, and honestly, like a sense, like a self-esteem and confidence issue. There's a lack of security here, and feeling okay and worthy within yourself, to be honest with you. There may be somebody you want to talk to. You have King of Wands and Strength. So if this is about business, there may be someone you may want to talk to, and they might have like really good ideas for you. If this isn't about business, still, I think there may be someone else that you may want to talk to that, maybe deals with this type of stuff or has dealt with this type of stuff, or like the idea maybe of how like addicts have like a sponsor, or just somebody who knows about this, has been through this, they're on the other side of this or a higher vibrational side of this or whatever, and somebody that you can talk to and gain a higher perspective, maybe even hold you accountable and help you out during the times when you're trying to have strength and courage. You have strength here too, which is telling you to have strength, have discipline, have will, but that you can and will get through this and succeed. But there's just something that it's telling you to not only work on calming and taming this part of yourself in a loving, compassionate way and look at what all of this is going on, but also maybe talk to someone else or seek help with this. Okay. You have growing up, wanting to grow and experience rejection of perpetual youth. So there's something here you're wanting to level up. Not only for one, I think you want to be able to grow in this situation or relationship and you feel stuck and like it's not. And yes, it is a mirror in the relationship, but it's mostly within you. But there's something emotionally you've got to see and heal and grow up from, like heal. Use your time well. Like I said, take a chill pill from all of this, right? Don't focus on that. Just let whatever be, whatever illusions come up, work through them, see them. Focus on you and work on you. And when your triggers come up, just focus on you, not the other person, you. And then spend time gaining skills in other areas, money, skills, entrepreneurial, apprenticeship, whatever. Gain that confidence in other ways. Grow, learn. It'll build your confidence. It'll build your self-esteem. Have somebody else to talk to who is either trained in this, has been there, is on the other side, higher vibrational, has a different perspective. They're not still doing it and they're not going to feed you. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, you should keep doing that. Blah, blah, blah. No, somebody who can be like, yeah, they understand what you're saying, but they have a different perspective that can shine some light on what's going on within you and or how to rise out of that and heal. I think you're thinking a lot about this, but you need to clear a lot of stuff out. This situation may get better. I don't know. It's definitely not going to if you don't work on this in the way I'm saying. So stop trying to mend it right now. Stop trying to just figure it out. Just focus on you, clear yourself out, and build skills in another area. because of the fact you're not letting just you and this situation just unfold and be. You're kind of trying to, from what I can see on an outside perspective, control this. It's affecting your heart chakra, and it's affecting the amount of love and passion they have. It's funny because you're like, I'm going to do X, Y, Z to try to make it this Queen of Wands energy. And that's not going to do it at all. It's just going to keep you in this pattern. Instead of realizing that if you were to step back, just work on you when stuff triggers and comes up, and just let things unfold naturally and let yourself heal, let yourself do what you need to do, that will actually heal. Like, this is literally a heart chakra issue. It'll heal and clear your heart chakra, and then you'll feel more passion. Then you'll feel more joy. Then you'll feel more excitement. You're actually so closed off and controlled right now, and not trusting and honestly wounded, that your heart chakra is closed down. And that's why you're not feeling that joy and that excitement and that passion and that excitability of being a kid. When did your heart chakra close down? You need to look at this. Because it doesn't matter if this person's there. It doesn't matter if nobody's there. It doesn't matter who's there. You're going to be sitting in this pattern. So I hope you really heed the advice on this, because if you do, then it will just radiate out, and because you have unfoldment, just let it happen. This is like sideways, like the love, compassion. This is about heart chakra. Because you're just not letting it unfold, it's affecting your heart chakra, and it's affecting the movement of this energy. If you just let it unfold, let it be, you work on yourself, work on your triggers, work on skills, work on hobbies, work on growing, blah, blah, blah. It'll help heal and move and clear out your heart chakra, and you'll feel the passion, you'll feel the excitement, you'll feel the growth, you'll feel all of that. And then the energy will start to move again, and then you won't be reliant on some other person or the situation around you or how it looks in your mind. You'll be able to just be, and you'll be more secure, and you'll allow just whatever happened. You won't be codependent or needing them, because it's a lot to put on somebody else. And chances are, if you're doing this to them, probably in a lot of ways, they're doing it to you too. The energies usually go at each other, but at the very least, you're going to stay stuck in this and stay confused in this pattern if you don't start to realize that it's first and foremost within you is what the issue is. And you're projecting it, and you're trying to control it in your environment to make you feel this that you want to feel. And you will never feel that if you don't work on what's blocking your heart chakra. Literally, fire energy in Chinese medicine is your heart chakra, which is what you're wanting. You're wanting this fire energy with this Queen of Wands. You're wanting the compassion. You're wanting the fire. You're wanting the passion, the sexuality, the excitement. All of this, like this child enthusiasm and excitement for life, right? That has nothing to do with what's around you and everything to do with what's going on in your heart. Just saying. I'm also speaking from firsthand experience here. So I say this lovingly and non-judgmentally, but I hope this helps you. I'm going to leave this here. I love you guys. I hope you guys are doing well through all these transits. It's some rough energy. I don't even know what it's like for you, since Mars is one of your co-ruling planets, but I hope you guys are doing well. Nonetheless, if you need help, please let me know. Oh, I forgot to say this in the beginning of the video. Like, please like, share, comment, subscribe. It takes 2 seconds. It's a way of giving back. So even if you can't donate or services or whatever, it's absolutely a way to give back. Please make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell. I put out different types of videos. If you think you're subscribed, check. A lot of times people get removed and they didn't actually do it. And I find that on other channels too. But I can't comment on everybody's comment, but I read all of them, and I love connecting to your guys' energy. So at the very least, as a thanks for my energy, if this, I can't even think, resonated with you, or even if you're just grateful for all I'm putting into it, please make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Okay? Donation information, PayPal, description box below, emails in there, service information down below if you're interested in shamanic services, light language healing, or CCT, crystalline consciousness technique. Please email me in the meantime before I get that information in my description area. Okay? I love you guys. I hope this is received well in the way I mean it, and I'll be seeing and talking to you soon. Bye.